I'm Rich Noonan for PRCI in Atlanta, Georgia at the 2009 Research Exchange Conference. Almost 200 key people from around the world came to Atlanta to further their important work, keeping the world's pipelines safe and efficient.
This research exchange, and I've got to plug Marina Smith, is one of her great ideas that we needed to get back together and provide that output back to the members who thirst greatly for knowledge and the outputs of that, and then be able to talk in very highly technical terms. Again, we're engineers, we're geeky people, right? So we like to get into the nitty-gritty details. And that's what this meeting is all about, is to get into the details and see how the research is progressing and pass that information on to the users so they can apply the results of our research in their daily jobs.
One of the most extensive PRCI research projects discussed at this year's Research Exchange was the RAM, or Right-of-Way Automated Monitoring Project. A distinguished panel including representatives from NASA presented, shedding new light on how cutting-edge technology in space will allow pipeline operators to keep an eye on things from the sky.
I think the thing that most people probably did not know was really how advanced the satellite technology has been. And the satellite technology is really advanced quite substantially over the last 5 years. What we used to have is like 3 or 4 commercial satellites that were able to look at different types of infrastructure or threats to that infrastructure. Now we're finding out that more and more networks of satellites are coming online all over the world that is basically being used for commercial purposes. And 5-10 years ago, that wasn't even possible. So I think a lot of people were surprised by that.
We had something like a dozen contributions from very different people, and they all showed us what they could bring to the program. And now it's a matter of we need to go back to the session and try to boil this down to a few main items, and then present this for the program vote.
From RAM to literally dozens of other research projects discussed at this year's exchange, the world's pipeline experts listened for and heard about trends that are changing the pipeline industry.
One of the focus areas I think has been emerging over the last couple of years has been utilizing, or the attempt to utilize, the high-strength materials, particularly in pipe. And combined with that is a whole suite of technology, not just the pipe material development, but also the welding technology come with it, and the inspection technology go with it. So it's a suite of technology that required for the industry to be able to utilize the high-strength pipe materials and utilize that for the adverse environment, such as Arctics and some of the seismic active areas and so on and so forth. So I think this is one of the areas that not only the operating company is interested, but also some of the government agencies and regulatory agencies are also interested. So you see a lot of broad support for those programs.
In one presentation, the presenter made the comment that we've worked in this area for many years, and as the technology advances, the need to continue and update. Well, one advance, of course, are high-strength materials. So understanding the behavior of lower-strength pipes in various conditions is pretty well understood, and guidelines are published. But as you move to X80 and higher strengths of pipe, thinner walls, and more challenging conditions, then the research has to keep pace and, in some cases, relook things that are well understood for the lower strength of materials, but not necessarily as well understood for the high strengths.
As the world's pipelines age, corrosion is always an important PRCI research area.
One of the presentations that we just had that I've been involved with since the inception, it was actually the originator of the project, is the guidelines for reliability-based pipeline integrity management. This is something that through PRCI we've been working on for several years, going back to 2005 in fact, and we're just having our primary rollout of the completion of the first part of the project, so we're really excited about it. The project is focused on being able to make quantitative assessments of integrity management and actually optimize the overall programs that we use to run the integrity management programs based on the data that we're taking in. So it's applying new or more rigorous approaches to doing things like analyzing our inline inspection data doing full probabilistic analysis at looking at what are the probabilities of failure, or conversely the reliability of the line, and then we can put that against quantitative targets to make sure that we always meet our safety, environmental, and other requirements. And once that's done, then we can look at actually optimizing what we do to the pipeline in order to ensure that we meet those criteria.
At the end of the day, what's the value? You know, what sort of economic benefit can we get? Is it
Martin Fingerhut of Applis RTD urged the group to look more closely at how research being conducted in other industries can be utilized in pipeline research.
One of my messages is, and this came up in the long-term research discussion when we were talking about longer-term research goals and objectives, is technology transfer, something that we really have an opportunity to accelerate the rate at which we get solutions that we need for our pipelines to essentially ensure the integrity level that we need on those pipe systems.
I'm hopeful that we start to see an influx of other parties being much more interested in what we do. The value, and you saw the issues with the hurricanes, right? Little disruption to simple gasoline service. It's a big deal, and I think it's made people much more aware of how critical what we do on a day-to-day basis really is.
If there was one opinion that everyone at this year's Research Exchange shared, it's that membership in PRCI and attending this meeting have tremendous value.
It's really the collaborative research that's the focus for me. It's a good opportunity to talk with other operators, and at this particular forum, it's really the vendors that are bringing solutions that we'd like to hear what's available in the industry.
Well, PRCI, I think, is a great, we have a rather substantial R&D program internal to BP, but we also participate in PRCI, and the value I think that we get from our ownership, or excuse me, membership in PRCI is we're estimating probably a return on our money of at least 12 to 15 to 1, which is just exceptional. And I think it's great for the industry, for all the various companies to participate, and our sharing and our participation with PHMSA is also, and some of the other regulatory agencies is very good too.
Well, I think the benefits of attending a conference like this is all the people that you meet that are tops in their field. They come from all corners of the world pretty much, and everyone has a lot of the same interests, a lot in common, and I think there's a lot to learn. I think they can bring a lot of ideas back with them to their workplace.
The Atlanta conference was another hugely successful research exchange for PRCI, and attendees took valuable information back to their companies. If you were not able to attend, however, you can still get all the details.
All the members will get the results of this meeting. If they weren't here, they'll still hear the results of it. And it'll also give a plug for our Prime tool, where we do post the results of technical meetings, including this meeting, and they can go there and access the projects that they did not get to come and listen to.
For PRCI, I'm Rich Noonan. Thank you for your time, and we hope to see you at the next Research Exchange.